It's time to light the night. Now, join CBS Austin live in Fredericksburg for the Light the Night Christmas Parade. Broadcast sponsored by 72 Degrees Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing.
Welcome to the Light the Night Christmas Parade in downtown Fredericksburg, proudly sponsored by HEB. This is an annual event that brings out the entire community. Very festive as we celebrate the holiday season. Joining me live on the set tonight as we have the parade live on CBS Austin is meteorologist Avery Tomasco.
Happy to be with you, Walt.
And parade coordinator Penny McBride. Penny, a longtime supporter of this parade and organizer of it. So excited to see it again year after year.
Well, thank you for being here tonight. We love our parade.
And we know it's been at least 30 years that this has been happening, right?
Yeah, more than 30 years we've been having this tradition, and it's something that brings our community together.
And it gets a little bigger and a little better every single year.
Yeah, 150 plus floats tonight. Taking a look at the traffic right now. Coming down Main Street, they're going to take a loop over there at the Nimitz Museum and head right back.
So the parade's been underway now for, give or take, a couple of minutes. Seems like they got a little jump start this year. I don't blame them. Everyone's eager to get this show on the road, and as you can see, it is just as festive as you have ever seen it.
And Santa Claus is coming to town on this parade. Make sure that you stand by for that, because he's a big part of this parade as the community sets up their tailgates, has some Texas wine and some hot cocoa to warm their bellies to enjoy this parade. What are we looking at here, Penny?
Well, we have a wonderful lineup for you tonight, and that is Allen's Boots. Everybody in Austin knows Allen's Boots, right?
Of course.
And they have a second location in Fredericksburg. And they're right downtown in what had been our historic Dooley's 5, 10, and 25-cent store. They can get it, is the way they like to say it.
And in general, what are some of the floats we're seeing here? This is local businesses, schools.
We have a whole combination of things. Local businesses, schools. We had the marching band tonight. Of course, Santa leads off the action. So lots of great opportunities to see just a little bit of everything.
Of course, Allen Boots, founded in Austin on South Congress by Stephen Greenberg in 1977. Is this the Albert Hotel?
Yeah, we're very excited because
Anderson
the
Outdoor.
Albert Hotel is going to be opening on Main Street in January. So we'll have our first
beautiful.
luxury brand hotel.
Yes, and it's beautiful. The renovations were amazing. We've got about 150 floats in this parade, a lot of them homemade. It's really not a commercial parade. This is a down-home Texas Hill Country parade with so much Texas flair, and that's what I love about it, Penny.
I think one more.
So we have just passed the Anderson Outdoor Incorporated float. I believe we are now getting to the Gillespie County Fair and Festival Association float. That is granddaddy of all Fredericksburg parades.
The granddaddy, the beautiful float, comes to us from the Gillespie County Fair Association, bundled up in the back of their truck beds, enjoying this parade. A lot of children here, and we even have some CBS Austin personalities with Allison Miller and John Carlos Estrada.
They were right after the band.
On the turnaround. All right, Texas, is that Texas Heritage Bank?
That is the Texas Regional Bank. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. This entry is presented, of course, by the Texas Regional Bank, one of the official sponsors of the Light the Night Christmas Parade. We are so thankful for their help.
Look at those lights. Great job from the local community getting that float together. And right behind them, I'm getting hungry. Simply Dipped Fondue. I love fondue. Simply Dipped Fondue, a restaurant just a few blocks from here, presents Winter Wonderland, a magical, charming cottages and a larger-than-life Santa's workshop, bustling with cheerful elves. Oh, is that an ice rink?
It looks like it.
Oh, that is awesome.
There's no way it's real. It's cold out here, but it is not 32 degrees cold.
Maybe that was a special cooling mechanism.
They have to.
Well, you can ice skate on Fredericksburg's Marktplatz throughout the holiday season, and so they did a mini ice rink for us just for the parade.
That is Heritage School. They did the Marktplatz and the ice rink there. You got to come down here to the Marktplatz and do the ice skating, grab some food, a lot of vendors on Main Street.
It is so much more than just the parade. I mean, this party keeps rolling until at least 9 p.m. Free pictures with Santa, who we will see momentarily. This is the Mustard Designs float, a vintage Christmas, the theme of this entry, of course. But that doesn't look vintage. That looks like Olaf.
That's Piccolina.
That's Piccolina.
Piccolina.
Frozen, the Disney animated musical fantasy film, is the theme. You got it. Of this adorable entry from Piccolina, which happens to serve up delicious Italian ice.
I can
from
hear my
its
daughter screaming
downtown
from here.
locations. Oh, look at this.
This is the Fisher & Weiser Specialty Foods float. The Orchard Express, if you will, this 60-foot train, an incredible installation, features a vibrant engine, charming wine cars, 3 festively decorated train cars filled with Fisher & Weiser family members who welcome you to stop by Das Peachhaus. Das Peachhaus.
Your German is really good.
I'm working on it. I always get a little practice here in Fredericksburg. That's where they offer wine tasting, cooking classes, and product samplings.
Wine tasting, and tonight a taste of Christmas as the community comes out for this parade, lined up all the way to Nimbus Museum, where they turn around and come back along Main Street. This has really grown so big throughout the years. Penny, do you remember how many floats were in the beginning?
2.
2 floats.
2 floats?
That was a quick parade.
This is the Security Bank and Trust float you see approaching. Man, is that lit up spectacularly. This is depicting the spectacular German Christmas Toyland. And it looks like it. That looks like a party. You know, many families still celebrate holiday traditions inspired by this community's German heritage that we're experiencing here in Fredericksburg. Security State Bank and Trust is a locally owned community bank, helping build the communities they call home since 1941. We can attest to the bank's commitment and community building that they're on display with tonight.
And their commitment to the float. Look at all those lights. Perfect truck for this. The community coming together, employees of Security State Bank and Trust coming out to wave to the crowd tonight. Even a park bench. I love it. Then LBJ State Park up next. Thanks to this next entry by LBJ State Park, we can catch a glimpse of how Christmas was experienced by the town's traditional German families.
This
Their
one is
theme,
the
Cozy German Christmas of 1918. I love that.
Yep, they've got a living room scene, Christmas tree, family members in period clothing. I mean, it's hard to remember sometimes that these are homemade floats with how extravagant they look. I mean, it's really a lot of work that all of these individual businesses, schools, the like, are all putting into this.
Look at that crowd. You know, I love how they just bring their trucks along Main Street, drop the tailgate, have some Texas wine, hang out, some cheese and snacks for the kids, and watch this parade. Is this Strayer and
Watch Party is definitely a local tradition here.
Yes,
So.
yes.
Oh, I have no doubt. This is probably the Strower and Sons float. This entry, all about the beloved community traditions. Strayer, and Sons, and Strayer and Olafers has been serving the Texas Hill Country since 1928. 96 years, the company has supplied fuel, automotive needs, and tires to Fredericksburg and surrounding communities.
Is this the Polar Express snow globe?
Is this it?
Hill Country Footprint Lending? It's the Polar Express. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. That's hot, 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 hot. It's the Coco song. You remember that?
I don't.
You gotta watch it. It's a good movie.
That movie, that's an interesting one.
Hill Country Footprint Lending presents this train filled with darling kids, their jammies, and headed to see Santa.
This is the Absolute Charm float, Peace on Earth. It is the theme of this beautifully presented entry by Absolute Charm Real Estate Group. It features some of Fredericksburg's most iconic buildings, including, oh, this is going to be tough, Vereins Kirche.
You did really well on that.
Thank you so much. I only practiced a couple times. That's in the center of
it.
that one, encircled by holiday trees as well.
Beautiful jib shot. What are we taking a look at here? Is that the...
That's our Peach Jamboree. Those
peach?
are our Peach Queen and her court.
The Stonewall Peach Jamboree. So this is, for generations, the Gillespie County has been known for its juicy, of course, locally grown peaches. You see them on every highway in Central Texas. The arrival of the peaches celebrated at the Stonewall Peach Jamboree. That's on the 3rd full weekend in June. The reigning Peach Queen, you see her there, Ali Benitez,
yeah.
is joined by her court, the First Duchess, Isabella Sanchez, and Second Duchess, Genevieve Hesker. Make plans to join them at the Jamboree for a parade, rodeos, dances, and of course, everything peachy.
They have
And
the
Grinch.
wave down. They've got the wave down.
They sure do.
Look at that.
And
It's a
we
little
do
harder
grow-
for the Grinch.
And
We
that's
do
not
grow
easy
the
to do.
best peaches
Oh.
anywhere in the world.
Peach wine, jam. Oh, there's so much peach action going on in Fredericksburg. The best, juiciest in the land. You got to come out to Texas just for that, especially in Fredericksburg. Make it a weekend. And there's so many new hotels popping up. And I like those yurts that are popping up as well as you visit the wine country here.
Okay, we have this shot. You see the penguin there? That is Santa's Toy Shop working overtime. This is the Sunday House Inn and Suites, Hampton Inn and Suites, and Holiday Inn and Detzel's Hotel float. You see it there. Incredible. Floats big and small are welcome. Doesn't matter if it's just a golf cart. They got that thing decked out.
That's the Optimist Club.
Yes, we have made it to the 30th float in the entry tonight. This is the Optimist Club of Fredericksburg. A lot of rubber duckies there. Again, I can hear my daughter screaming about it from here.
It's quacking me up.
Exactly. Oh, I love it, Walt.
Yeah,
Step aside, reindeer. This one's for the ducks. The gift-bearing sled is duck-powered. The Optimist Club of Fredericksburg hosts a Duck Derby fundraiser each May as the opening for their T-ball season, and this is the part of the Ducks training program since 1983. Local Optimist Club has impacted the broad spectrum of community needs.
Right behind that is the Central Texas Electric Cooperative. Here comes Central Texas Electric Co-op. It is very much in the business of lighting the night here and across 11 other Texas counties right behind this float. The cooperative is responsible for maintaining more than 47,000 electric meters. Wow, look at that. Along 7,000 miles of line. Also, we want to give a special shout out to CTEC's employees who provided extra manpower to tonight's beautiful parade.
I didn't pick up a single heavy thing this year, Walt. Those guys did it all for me.
The volunteers came in to help. The Santa's elves.
As the parade gets bigger, it somehow gets a little easier, I guess, along the way.
Is this Systems Go? Look at that. Oh, look at that sleigh.
Systems Go. This is the expertise of Systems Go students that have put this float together. This sled being pulled by a traditional reindeer, but its cargo is a rocket-powered Christmas tree.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
I love that.
The perfect reindeer costume as well.
That took a lot of, I know, the nose.
Yeah, Systems Go is an educational nonprofit born at Fredericksburg High School back in 1996.
Wow, look at that one. That float is really lit up. Is that the Gillespie 4-H?
Actually, that's the church. That's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
That is an incredibly beautiful constructed entry. This is a shot from and the CBS Austin news crew with Allison Miller and John Carlos Estrada.
We missed them for the second year in a row.
Early jump on us.
I know.
Nativity scene on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Christ is the light of the world, and the church strives to share the light with others.
There you see it there. Incredible the amount of lights on that float. Well done, nativity scene. And we are moving right along, I believe, to the Ableside School of Fredericksburg.
Yes.
This glittery, silvery scene certainly looks like winter. Feels like it out here too, but it also has a celebration of Ambleside School of Fredericksburg's 25th anniversary. At this faith-based school, students study great books, participate in nature, and learn in an environment that nurtures natural curiosity and fosters the formation of excellent habits and builds relationships to form a lifelong love of learning.
That's a great float. And the float behind it looks like my shopping basket for Thanksgiving, except it wasn't healthy. The float you're looking at is Create Healthy. This Christmas, Create Healthy is giving the gift of health and wellness. Check out that Texas-sized shopping cart loaded with beautiful fruits and veggies from the Hill Country. We also see members of the Create Healthy staff. To date, Create Healthy has contributed more than $6 million to Hill Country organizations.
And right behind that spectacular shopping cart, filled with food and people, is the National Museum of the Pacific War.
My favorite.
This is the National Museum, the Pacific War, that is hosted right here in Fredericksburg, by the way, another destination to see here in town among many. It's the only institution in the United States dedicated exclusively to the mission of inspiring all ages of the relevance of the stories from the Pacific War.
And they just redid the reenactments about a year ago, and they just do an incredible job showing all the different phases of the war. You gotta come out and check that out during the summer.
And we're moving right along to the Hill Country Tree Services. That is a locally owned business rooted in Fredericksburg community with a mission to preserve and enhance the natural beauty of the Hill Country, one tree at a time.
You're watching live the Light the Night Christmas Parade, proudly sponsored by the big man. Santa himself is in this parade. We'll grab him on the turn from this shot here at the Nimitz Museum. We're broadcasting live on CBS Austin and CBSAustin.com. We'll be right back.
Light the Night. Broadcast sponsored by 72 Degrees Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing.
Welcome back to the annual Light the Night Christmas Parade. You can hear the Fredericksburg High School Marching Band going by us right now. This is an annual tradition here in Fredericksburg, proudly sponsored by HEB. Joining me now is meteorologist Avery Tomasco and parade coordinator Penny McBride.
Happy to have you back again with us this year.
I love being treated as a special guest, but the real special guest is rolling by right now, Santa and the Misses.
Oh, well, we don't want to miss that.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have Santa and Mrs. Claus.
There they are, right
in the view.
there.
Beautiful. Now, pronounce that again, the Verenskirche.
It's the Vereinskirche, and it is the famous
Vereinskirche.
octagonal building that stands in the center of our Marktplatz. And so in this entry, Santa Claus is literally coming to town.
That is beautiful. What a great replica of that. That took a lot of work.
Is that the same Santa and Mrs. Claus that will be here following the parade for
They
pictures?
are. So we invite the kiddos to come get a candy cane from Methodist Healthcare and also to have their pictures made with Santa and the Misses.
And it's all free.
Oh, look at the Jeep. Is that the Jeep?
There it is. That is a Jeep. That's not the CBS Austin
That is our
Jeep.
Grand Marshals, Todd Edson and Julie Herbert. They are the
There's
Chamberman
Allison
Woman
and
of the Year.
JC. They're going away from us here. Hi, Allison and JC. They can't hear a thing, but they look beautiful going away from us.
Look at this. Oh, this is great.
That appears to be a retired Army vehicle.
A very lit up retired.
A very
That is
nice
the,
one.
So we had the Texas Heritage Vineyard pass by, the Gillespie County Historical
This must
Society.
be the Texas Army National Guard, a Crockett Company, 1 through 14. The Light the Night Christmas Parade, of course, is proud to welcome this next entry from the Texas Army National Guard, Crockett Company, 1st Battalion, 141st Infantry Regiment, the 72nd Brigade, the 36th Infantry Division, headquartered right here at the Fredericksburg Armory.
Right behind that is the Fest Kind crew. If you can be anything you want to be in the world, be kind. That's the message from beautiful children from the Fredericksburg Elementary School Kind Crew. Palm trees during Christmas time and 43-degree weather. I love it.
That is the warmest I've felt all night, just looking at the tropical oasis at the back of that truck.
A beautiful night here in Fredericksburg, Texas for the Light the Night Christmas Parade.
And we have really lucked out with no rain coming down, at least not yet.
And it looks like they have a fireplace in the middle of that palm tree oasis.
I hope so. I hope someone out here is warmer than I am.
That was the
that is
Bethany Lutheran
correct.
Church passing by, and right behind that, another very active festive float, the Kinder Club Bounce House. There may be a chill in the air, but on this float, it's a tropical Christmas. I think we just saw that one.
We sure did.
Kinder Club Bounce House. I want to go into that.
I think we're here.
And we have come up on Hill Country Pristine LLC. When Santa finishes delivering all of those presents around the globe, he's going to be relaxing in his backyard. The Hill Country Pristine is a local company dedicated to improving and renewing local landscapes.
Then we have the Zion Lutheran Church, just a few blocks away from where we're seated. It was the first Lutheran church built in the Texas Hill Country, and it's one of the oldest in the state. The truck is an invitation to see the Christusbaum.
And you see a gigantic cake, I believe is what I'm looking at. That is devoted to the Twisted Sisters Bake Shop. Oh no, it is that pesky Grinch trying to steal Cindy Lou's Christmas tree. It looks like he has commandeered the 1971 Volkswagen Beetle from Twisted Sisters Bake Shop as his getaway car. Or maybe he's actually racing towards the bake shop, because we know the goodies are out of this world.
Speaking of goodies, the Garrison Brothers Distillery is right behind them. The
There
team
goes
at
the
Garrison
Grinch.
Brothers Distillery, the first legal bourbon distillery in Texas. Rich, bold flavor is their hallmark. Look at the ears on that one.
That is an incredible float. They got the eyes on the windshield. That's got to be a safety hazard.
The eyes of Texas.
The eyes of, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. On that note, you know what I'm very happy for is that the float that was supposed to be the Texas A&M Texas rivalry, they did not do that this year because they're waiting for the Aggies to take the W next year.
They have a little game in Atlanta tomorrow, I think.
And here we have the folks from Crinwelge Ranch. And they always do such an amazing entry with their oversized reindeer and sled full of toys, representing 3 generations of the Crinwelge family.
And a 56 Chevy with Christmas tree in tow.
Beautiful. And we're coming right up on Bee Creek Communications. The Buzz, the Bee, the mascot of Bee Creek Communications is dressed up for this holiday, and he's living his best life. You'll be able to see it here momentarily. For 23 years, Bee Creek Communications delivering a fixed wireless network dedicated to providing reliable high-speed internet to the area.
And so many people are moving to Fredericksburg right now, and the next float is A&L Moving. I'm sure they're pretty busy. Not your garden variety moving truck. A&L Moving LLC has created a light extravaganza using the truck to enclose their trailer right behind that. This area is booming in Gillespie County, and a lot of people experiencing the joy and Texas life of the Hill Country.
I'm going to be totally honest. I have no idea what we're looking at.
We're looking at one of the best parades in
We are
Texas.
looking at the most beautiful, just essence of Christmas parade that you could possibly imagine. This is small town Texas.
This is
Beautiful.
tasting.
Here we have Signor Winery.
Signor Winery. They are pointing the wrong direction for wine tasting.
They need to point this way.
Follow me for wine tasting.
And that Toyota Cruiser that they had was the original sign that they had when the winery first opened. That was their sign on how to get to Signor Winery.
That's incredible.
With reclaimed wine barrels and a slick video display inviting parade watchers to visit their vineyards. One of many here. How many vineyards are we talking about in Gillespie County now?
About 62.
62.
And do you know what it was 1 year ago? I feel like it's growing
maybe a little less
exponentially.
than 62.
Okay.
No,
That makes sense.
that's my best answer.
I feel like every time I drive through here, there's at least 5 new wineries on 290 coming in to Fredericksburg. Of course, one of the staples of Fredericksburg in general.
Again, like a Hallmark movie, as you mentioned, Penny. There was even a wedding proposal at this parade, wasn't there?
There was a wedding party, and I have followed up with them. They are happily married. I was hoping they might come back and do the parade again this year.
Oh,
but,
we would have loved to see it.
But that was
We
pretty
need them
fun.
to come by here. We talked to them. We'd love to hear about it.
That would be awesome. They got to come back next year, report on how it's all going, because we got to witness that firsthand last year.
Look at
All
that
right.
fire truck. That is a decked out fire truck. Lights ablaze.
And that is the Willow City Volunteer Fire Department. And, you know, like a lot of rural areas, we are served by volunteer fire departments because we don't have huge municipal fire departments. So we owe a lot to these folks that'll do it for us, right?
We've got about 150 floats here. They pass by Main Street. They make a left turn over there at the Nimitz Museum.
And you see there a backhoe on, or at least a front loader there. That was from GT Masonry LLC. Nothing beats cozying up by a roaring fire bedecked with Christmas stocking.
If you have a chance, you got to come out here for the holiday season. They've got vendors on Main Street with so many Christmas gifts and where you've got ice skating here, you've got Texas wine, you've got the hill country, you've got the yurts and new hotels popping up left and right. This really gets you into the spirit of Christmas, and it's here downtown in Fredericksburg, the Light the Night Christmas Parade presented by HEB.
We are happy to be here, and we're happy to keep the party going. We are going to end our broadcast here on live TV, but please join the party over on CBSAustin.com. We will keep the party going until this parade is over and done with, and then the party will keep going on for another hour after that.
And parade coordinator Penny McBride will be joining us as well. We're over at CBSAustin.com. We'll see you there. Merry Christmas. Manuel.
Stand by, Robert.
Welcome back to the annual Light the Night Christmas Parade and Afterglow. We're live in downtown Fredericksburg in the Marktplatz. This is the beginning and end of the parade. We've already had one lap past Austin.com. As you can see, Main Street, this is where they turn. This is a high above the Nimitz Museum as they turn around and make another pass. Meteorologist Avery Tomasco joining us now as well. Avery, getting a little sprinkle. It's not snow.
I think a lot of folks out here are going to have a little bone to pick with the local meteorologist. I'm not going to blame me. I'm going to blame Austin Burks, who was in studio tonight forecasting this rain. And we avoided it all night long until about 5 minutes ago. We've got a steady rain coming down, and it is cold. This is just making it colder. But I'm encouraged by how many people I don't see running for the hills. Everyone's still seated. For the most part, they're trying to enjoy this for all it's worth, and the parade goes on, rain or shine.
Well, another problem is they're stuck in traffic, so they can't go anywhere if they wanted to, but that's okay.
There's no escape. You got to embrace it.
They've got warm bellies with Texas wine and hot chocolate, and they've got a lot of the local vendors feeding them along the parade route, which is what I love about this parade, because you can really enjoy the local flair of downtown Fredericksburg and the parade. We started the parade at 6:30. This has been going on for about 30 years, 150 floats here. We made it through most of the parade without any rain. The temperatures are dropping. Some people thought, well, if it drops any more, we're going to see snowflakes, which would be perfect for a Christmas parade, right?
It would be.
The big guy, Santa, making his way through downtown as well, along with the Grinch. I don't know if they battled it out in a super boxing fight or not, but it's proudly sponsored by HEB, and you can see one of the floats out there just to the left of your screen has snow. So they're making it snow either way with the rain out here.
Either way, Even if it's just a cold rain, it certainly feels like Christmas.
It really kicks off the Christmas season. You can ice skate here. You can come through downtown Fredericksburg, do your shopping, grab some wine, some preserves, some peaches, and just really get into this Christmas spirit. Maybe even pick up an ornament.
Why not? You can pick up an ornament. You can pick up anything under the sun here, just along Main Street. And of course, for the parade, Mark Plotz, which is where we are seated, right next to the parade route down Main Street, is decked out in, I want to say, more lights than last year. They flipped those on right after 6 p.m. and it has been gorgeous ever since, but getting colder, but folks are sticking around for the long haul.
And you've got all of these homemade floats. You know, you've got the Fredericksburg High School Marching Band, you had the Red Hots, you had the Junior ROTC, then you have the local businesses. They do this as volunteers on their own time to put these together, string up the lights, get the cars out here. Most of the people grab their truck, pop down the tailgate, and have a little picnic watching this parade.
And there's an old school classic. You're the car guy, Walt. What are we looking at there? That's an Oldsmobile?
I call that the old family truckster.
It sure is. That is right out of a Christmas story, I think.
That's a Woody. It just needs a surfboard and a beach, and it'd be perfect for Southern California.
At least 3 miles per gallon on that thing. That was the Apogee float floating by. And these have been cruising along now for about the last 30 minutes, and they are wasting no time. Again, there's about 150 floats to get through.
We lost a few floats because of the weather, but it started at about 160 floats. A few dropped out, but most stayed in this, 150 plus, which is great. It looks like the rain took a little break, so people are enjoying this. You can see a little bit of the snow flakes left on the ground.
Yeah, someone's decking the halls here quite literally with their snow as they pass by. The rain's going to kind of come in waves. Right now we're in a little lull. Love to see it. There's still so many folks lining the streets. So the parades that stuck it out and are here, we of course appreciate them so much for making this holiday tradition that much more special. I don't think they're regretting it. They're getting cheers all over the place, up and down Main Street.
Oh yes, you got the Model Ts, you got the Caddies, you got the convertibles. I just need this to go,
I need
and then you got a
old school
parade.
horn. I'm sure he's got one in there.
He's got to have one in there. People are still hanging out, which is great. As you can see, the parade is making end of the parade. You have so many local businesses involved, from banks and churches
That's
and
Arrowhead
restaurants.
Bank right there making their second pass.
And they're here to support the community and bring the kids out and families to really kick off the holiday Christmas season.
This is the classic car portion of the parade.
Feliz Navidad. Do you want me to sing?
I would love you to. The jams out here have been incredible, from the high school marching band, which just tickled my heart as a former mellophone player.
Is that a Spitfire or Mercedes? Oh, it looks like a Spitfire.
You would know better than I do.
Yeah, look at that. It's a Fiat, I
An
think.
incredible car that they have decked out. Of course, the classic Volkswagen bus coming through.
They could have a whole car show out here after the parade, for sure. I don't know how they get those lights around all these cars and keep them lit throughout the whole parade, but they've done a great job from all these hometown floats. You know, that vintage car club here in Fredericksburg dates back to the 1920s through the 1950s. They're really something special here in this parade. You have a lot of collectors in town. You might say that the club itself is a bit vintage in that it's been around for more than 50 years. The organization is a touring club affiliated with the Vintage Motor Car Club of America. And many of the families participate in 6 national tours held every year. That looks like Ewald Kubota, though.
It sure does. That looks like Ewald Kubota. We also have the Hill Country Fox 106.5 coming through.
That's a radio voice. You had a good radio
My mom always said I had a great face for radio, Walt.
She loves you too.
She does, in her own way. That is a Fox rolling down Fredericksburg Main Street. Well, that can mean none other than the Hill Country Fox 106.5, featuring great new generation country artists, is coming through with the best of Hill Country music sprinkled in.
Let me try my hand at this next one.
Please.
We can expect the Hill Country Classic Rock Authority, the Raptor 96.5 and 93.9 to rock Christmas, and they do not disappoint.
I hate anchoring with you because you always do a better job.
It's that radio voice from the 1950s.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Can't beat it.
3G Ranch in there as well. Maggie Moore is bringing Christmas home with a ranch with a freshly cut tree from her Gillespie County ranch, along with presents galore and the holiday decorations for the ranch house to surprise her family for big Merry Christmas. This is Williams
Chris Vineyards.
Okay, there are about 62 vineyards now. They have incredible vineyard tours. You have distilleries out here. You have breweries as well. And another thing you really have to check out are the new accommodations, hotels, and they have a whole yurt village where you have a little romantic getaway. Of course, you have all the bed and breakfast out here in the hill country, but you have these yurts popping up that look like an igloo out in the middle of the wilderness in Gillespie County. It's awesome.
I get to try my hand at this again, Walt. You're right. Tonight, that's the River 106.1 by playing a selection of Christmas hits. I believe that's what we hear coming right down Main Street, right to the left of where we are seated. The River spotlights hit songs made by popular 70s top 40 radio music area.
Hey, what are your hours? I want to listen to you during drive time. You nailed it.
I do the traffic every now and then, Walt, but I never deliver good news.
You should really do the weather.
I really should. I think I might have a knack at it.
Oh, look at that fire truck. That is very cool.
That is our second fire truck coming through, and this one is undoubtedly a classic. That one has not seen a fire in many years, but this evening it is lit up like it is on fire with so many Christmas lights. There is a big party rolling to our left now.
I think the Texas wine's starting to hit. The crowd's getting a little bit rowdy.
It sure is. Well, you got to have something flowing to keep you a little warm in this kind of weather. The chilly rain coming down, the fake snow lining Main Street as parades go down and make the loop and double back.
So you have local churches here, businesses. Of course, you have the classic car parade, and you have all of the community coming together for this parade. You have the 4-H clubs, you have the Red Hots from the high school starting us off with the dancing.
The dancing was incredible. We were jamming to that, and then we were followed up by the Fredericksburg High School marching band.
And the big man himself.
The big man himself, Santa Claus, has come to Fredericksburg, Texas early. Of course, this is just a preview. He's not dropping enough presents yet, but he will be here in Mark Plots following the parade for free. Photos with Santa. We'll see if my daughter can survive that without screaming this year.
Well, he's got his list, and you know what he's doing with it.
Checking it at least twice.
Yes, absolutely. So you got to make sure you're on the good side.
I haven't seen a single naughty kid here tonight. Everyone is just enthralled by what they're seeing going down Main Street.
Here's Frosty on the back of an F-250 or a Toyota Tundra, enjoying tonight's frosty weather for sure. It's about 43 degrees. It looks like they're on a snow pile ready to do a little tobogganing.
I have no complaints about the cold weather, though. You want it to be a little cold to ring in the holidays, and it has not been cold in Texas for a while.
Yeah.
I think everyone here is embracing it as best they can, and there's hot cocoa everywhere you look.
After our summer, this is more than welcome.
What about
Look
our
at this.
fall, Walt? Our fall was just summer 2.0.
We had fall for 2 days, I think.
Now we've gone right to winter.
Right to winter.
Texas fashion.
That's right. Look at these beautiful floats. I love the ears on that truck, and it looks like they can continue down through the end of Main Street. They have the loop going now as well as they churn from the Nimitz Museum, and they make their way back right in front of us.
I can't imagine the work that goes into these floats and decking all of these cars and trailers out with lights. I am humbled by the thought of just decorating my own house, and we've got 150 floats that are all decked out to the brim with these lights. And again, it's important to remember, these are all homegrown, homemade folks from the community that want to put their best show on for the community, and that just embodies Fredericksburg to a T. Everyone just wanting to come together and bring in the holidays together as best as possible. And we're doing it tonight.
And you know, you have so many cool vintage shops here in downtown Fredericksburg for the Light the Night Christmas Parade. Outlaw Texas is one. If you're needing some stylish apparel and accessories for those holiday parties, I got a place for you. Follow the 1976 Bronco, we saw it on this broadcast, to Outlaw Texas, a small boutique on Main. The entry's Western decor is a nod vibe to the vibe that you'll experience at Outlaw Texas. Very cool stuff. Oh, we just saw the King Ranch truck go by.
And that is Sky Texas, complete with another Grinch. I hate that there have been more Grinches than Santas here, but there's only one Santa.
That's right, and he only comes once a year. So.
He certainly does.
And
there's a Grinch everywhere you look.
And he stops. there is. But you know what? We can keep the spirit of giving and Santa alive in our hearts.
we can. The Grinch is not going to take that from us, nor is the other Grinch or the other Grinch.
I was telling you about it earlier. It's called the Haven Yurts. Candy Cane Lane comes to life on this entry from Haven Yurts that went by just a minute ago. It's a vacation rental in the heart of the Wine Road, 290. Decked out in the colors of red, white, and blue. We see a live gingerbread family and cute little elves celebrating on the float as well. We've got some cute elves here, some locals in the community enjoying the parade. This is what makes this so special. The Light the Night Christmas Parade, presented by HEB, is a community effort that really brings together the great people of Gillespie County to celebrate all of the successes they've had throughout the year, and as we head into the season of giving.
And a lot of the people lining the streets to watch this parade are waving at their own family and friends that are in the parade itself. That's what you're seeing. So many kids lighting up with their hats, their scarves, their decor, and they're just waving at their friends as they line Main Street.
And don't forget, CBS Austin is the live broadcast parade sponsor tonight. And 72 degrees air conditioning, heating, and plumbing as well are a live broadcast sponsor. And we want to thank them for their support to bring this to you live into your homes. For those of you in Gillespie County or throughout Central Texas watching us live over the air on CBSAustin.com, thank you for joining us tonight. It's a chilly 40-ish degrees outside right now, but hopefully you're toasty in your homes, enjoying this broadcast by CBS Austin, and 72 degrees air conditioning, heating, and plumbing.
Next year, we need to get them to, one, sponsor us again. We love having them. But also, give us a little heater, just for our little feet.
To make it at least 72 degrees in front of us right now.
At least. You see a little bit of rain coming down. It's thankfully not enough to totally wash out the crowd. The parade is going along just fine. This is the Texas Real Estate Float. Again, real estate, a big deal out here in Gillespie County.
Booming.
Because this place is booming. Folks are moving here left and right. So the real estate folks, and we've had several real estate groups represented tonight, have been busy lately.
Real estate groups, you have movers, and of course the builders in this area. And you can't forget Scott Felder Builders, or one of the builders from Austin, started Augusta Vin, one of the coolest wineries in Gillespie County, but there are so many cool wineries. You can't really pick one. Of course, you got Pardinellis and so many others here. You got to take the wine tour, stay in the yurt, and if you have a chance, mark your calendars for next year. Hit the parade, the Light the Night Christmas Parade. You're watching the broadcast live on CBSAustin.com. Sponsored by 72 degrees air conditioning, heating, and plumbing.
The floats continues. Again, making that turn, going all the way down Main Street, making the U-turn, so it's a double whammy for anyone seated in the bleachers. They have bleacher seating this year. That's a relatively new thing as of the last few years to accommodate more folks, in addition to the many that just drive out here, pull up a chair, get your hot cocoa, and enjoy the night.
And Colin, oh, you can see the rain in that shot for sure.
It's getting a little heavier. Come on, Austin Burks.
Where's this forecast going?
It's going
a beautiful
the wrong
night
direction.
here. But the crowds are still hanging out on the streets, dispersing a little bit. You can see some of the floats making the turn now on Main Street from Nimitz Museum, and it looks like they're going to be here for the long haul. We're downtown right now in the Marktplatz. It's starting to get a little colder with the rain, but this is Christmas in Texas, and we're welcoming it. It's a beautiful night, actually.
It is a beautiful night. You know, last year we were treated with the same festive temperatures, but a crystal clear sky. This year, at least it's festively cold. The rain is trying to rain quite literally on the parade, but we're not letting it. The parades keep marching.
And we want to thank our sponsor for this broadcast, 72 degrees air conditioning, heating, and plumbing, bringing it the live parade from the Fredericksburg Light the Night Christmas Parade in downtown Fredericksburg.
This is brought to you as well by HEB, presented out here in Fredericksburg, Texas. So many incredible floats, and now we have some classic, historic, if you will, farm tractors rolling down. And those things, they sound historic. You can kind of hear them chugging along right here down Main Street.
And you know, you see a few of those alongside of the road. Still working tractors, actually some of the best built out there. If you ask any farmer, the older gear is always better, and they know how to maintain them easier than the new fangled models.
Absolutely. And you see the Edgewater Premier pools coming by with a couple spectacular floats within the float. That is got to be some cold water on that float.
Wouldn't mind taking a dip in a jacuzzi.
Wouldn't mind it one bit, especially if it's heated by 72-degree heating and air conditioning.
We had SK Roofing go by, the Holy Ghost Lutheran Church, the Hill Country Patriot 104.3 and 102.1. They had the Hummer that went by. Love these old tractors as well. We had Homeland Pressure Washing and Holiday Lighting. Lalo's Custom Homes and Remodeling. He doesn't look very happy.
He doesn't. He looks a little cold on that tractor. I don't think that one has any heat in it.
We had the Heart of the Hills swim team. Not swimming weather, but they swim year-round, making sure they compete.
Fredericksburg Police Mounted Patrol walking through. Just making sure everyone here is staying safe, having a good time.
We also just saw Aloha Glass and Mirror. Wherever there is merriment, we must be aware that pesky Grinch is around, but Aloha Glass and Mirror is part of this big parade.
And you may be able to hear Penny McBride making an announcement.
The parade coordinator.
Parade coordinator. She has been with us for most of this evening. She is around doing what she needs to do for this parade. And she's saying we still have a long way to go, which is a great problem to have because the rain has let up here just a little bit. As you can see, the crowd has not really gone anywhere.
But they were ready. They were packed in their parkas. They got their headbands on, and they got their hand warmers. They're in for the long haul. As you can see, it's snowing on the back of that float.
Maybe one of these years we'll actually have some snow coming down for the Fredericksburg Christmas parade. This is the closest
we got close. I've gotten close once, but this is perfect. It really gets you into the holiday spirit. The Mark Place is just buzzing with activity. You got the ice skating, which makes it perfect. You got street vendors, and all of the shops are still open. Actually, they're going to stay open later tonight for what's called the Afterglow. So if you want to do some holiday shopping, you can absolutely do that because the shops will be open a little later tonight for the Light the Night Christmas Parade and, of course, what they call the Afterglow.
The Afterglow is just as magical as the parade is. Again, it's for another hour after the parade ends. That's when Santa and Mrs. Claus themselves will be here for photos for free for any kiddo that wants to brave Santa's lap and wish for their toy. Among, again, as you mentioned, all of these special local shops that stay open just for the occasion. You see Apogee coming through there, one of the floats that will be making the turn at the end of Main Street.
We also saw Cherry Springs Smokehouse and Deer Processing. It's hunting season here in Gillespie County, and Cherry Springs Smokehouse is ready. The locally owned and family-operated business provides custom deer processing for Gillespie and surrounding counties. And we want to thank our broadcast sponsor here tonight. It's 72 Degrees Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing for making this possible. Of course, you're watching CBS Austin. This is our live broadcast on CBS Austin.
At the CBS Austin stage here at Mark Plotz, Penny McBride, parade coordinator, who is assisting us tonight with keeping up with the incredible number of parade floats coming through.
Yeah, we're rolling about 150 entries tonight. We've had a few raindrops, but it's stopped again now, so we don't want anybody to not stick around for plenty more parade action.
And look at that shot. It looks like, Penny, that folks are sticking around. They're braving whatever little sprinkles come through every now and then. It's worth it.
Well, I think the meteorologist, Avery Tomasco, made that happen.
Yep. I'm doing my best. Parting the skies, if you will, every now and then, just to keep the good times rolling. But even that little bit of rain, when it was coming down, I only saw a few people trickle out.
Hey, Penny, the Vintage Car Club, very active here. So many cool vintage cars. They seem really active in the community.
They're very active in the community, and they're actually having a swap meet this weekend, too, at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds. So if you're a car enthusiast, we invite everybody to come check it out.
Oh, very cool. I think I might have to do that.
Every weekend there's something going on here in Fredericksburg and Gillespie County, and that is your kind of show, Walt.
Hey, I love cars. I love me some cars. Also, we saw that pool go by, and it wasn't really swimming weather, but the swim team swims year-round, and Edgewater Premier Pools can help make that happen. It may be the beginning of Christmas season, but Edgewater Premier Pools creates luxury backyard living experiences that beckon a pool party year-round. And we can party year-round at the poolside, watching some football, maybe some Aggie football or Texas football.
We'll wait to watch Aggie football until 2025. There's always next year, as we say. We also want to thank the former Texas Rangers Foundation. Here participating tonight, the Forte Tax and Bookkeeping Incorporated. Fredericksburg Chevrolet GMC, just one of the many car floats that are featuring their own vehicles and some classics alike. Groff Calliope.
Calliope. It's a famous kind of steam-powered organ.
Thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, it's a steam-powered organ, so.
Incredible.
You know, one of the unique features of the Light the Night Christmas Parade is it has a U-turn in it. So we get to see the entries on their way back. And so I visit with parade planners all across the country, and they're like, wait, you got a U-turn in your route?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, just to spice it up.
I love that because, you know, people are lined up on both sides of the streets, and these floats are so diverse, and there's so many different lights and actions on it. If you're only on one side, you don't get to see the whole float. So when they make that turn, you get to see both sides. It's pretty cool for everybody lining the streets to get a double pass. And then you get to see Santa twice.
Yep, there's no bad seat in the house, especially when Santa is coming around for a second drive before he finally makes his final resting place here for at least another hour at Mark Platz when the parade is over, which, you know, I don't think is going to be for a while. This is going to be a long parade, the best kind of parade, because it feels like it will never end.
I wonder if Santa ever cleans his sleigh before he goes out on the big night. You know, look, exterior pressure and soft wash surfaces here. Maybe they could have helped him out to clean Santa's sled on the way to his big night on Christmas Eve.
There's another one, another shot of that classic fire truck rolling down Main Street. One of two fire trucks that was present tonight in the parade.
I don't want to be a pest, but you know, Noble Knight Pest Control also along the parade route tonight. It's a medieval Christmas complete with a tiny castle. There it goes.
There's that classic fire truck.
That is the vintage fire truck siren.
And Gillespie County is actually served by multiple volunteer fire departments, and so they collaborate wonderfully. And you know, when we've been in such drought conditions, that if you bring us some rain, that'd be nice.
I'm trying, it's just poorly timed. I'm
given
so sorry.
our drought conditions, those guys are really important to us.
Yep.
Yes. Such a big part of the community here, and it's so spread out, and it's, again, as you say, it's dry. They're so desperately needed in this county. You want to do your radio voice again? Because I think I just saw 92.3 The Ranch. The Ranch, including none other morning weekday DJ, Randy Houston. And weekly, you can hear Fredericksburg Chamber CEO Jim McCullough chatting with Randy about what's happening in Gillespie County for the upcoming week. The Ranch has been serving the Hill Country for over 30 years with traditional country music, local news, sports, and weather. Nailed it.
Nailed it. You are impeccable, Walt.
Well, you know, it's that radio voice.
It is. Now, help me out here, Penny. Are there still new floats coming down, or is it now just all the U-turn?
It's all the U-turn now. We've got the complete run, and these are all of our folks heading back. They're going to go all the way to the west side of town and light the night there.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. That's why there's some folks filling in the street where the parade was once going down. Just trying to get a closer view of the return trip after making that U-turn on Main Street.
Yes, we should be in the first set.
You know, the Chamber of Commerce does such a great job with this, and I know you were there for a long time, Penny. It's just, how big a job is this to pull off, and what are the volunteers like?
Well, I have to completely credit our volunteers. I mean, the parade just doesn't happen without folks who are just do all sorts of amazing things for us, and also the community that gets out and builds these entries. I love driving around the week before the parade because you see it parked in front of someone's house and they're working on it, and
it's got to be months of work that goes into some of these floats.
And it brings
so
the
that's our
community
big
together.
radio flyer wagon. Again, that is actually done by Mustard Design, a local architectural firm here in town, and you know, it's kind of that iconic Christmas toy.
Sure is.
As this parade is wrapping up, we want to again thank our broadcast sponsors, 72 Degrees Air Conditioning, Heating and Plumbing, and CBS Austin and CBSAustin.com are proud to bring you this parade every year as part of a holiday tradition. We want to thank you for joining us tonight for the Light the Night Christmas Parade, and now everyone is getting ready for the afterglow. They're going to have to hurry up on that afterglow because it's pretty cold out here right now for a parade.
It sure is. We can confirm. Hopefully you've had a great seat at home watching this from the comfort of your hopefully warmer home. but it's got to be cold for a Christmas parade, and it felt so festive, and it was just another little icing on the cake of an incredible night.
But I do have a suggestion. Not only we have great food, but we have 6 Texas wineries, and one of them is serving the traditional German hot wine, Glühwein.
Oh, so where at? It's called Glühwein?
Glühwein.
Or Glüg?
Glüg?
Some people call it
Glühwein?
Glüg, yeah. So and I grew up calling it Glühwein.
Isn't that mixed with a little milled with rum? Like another
This one's
whiskey?
a pure wine version, but it's mixed with spices that give it those warm notes and
And
so yummy.
that's something we all need tonight.
That'll warm our
A
bellies.
little bit of warmth.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is a holiday tradition for all of us here at CBS Austin, and we hope you have a beautiful Christmas season.